You are going to die at the age of 35. Not literally, but your ability to maximize and utilize the time that you were given will die a slow, painful death. That sounded like the start of a really cringy sales pitch. And I'm not here to sell you anything, so let me rewind a little bit. Why am I on this platform that is YouTube? Why am I standing in this park talking to a camera? Well, there's one thing that I am, or one thing that I'm trying to be, and that is different. Because you see, as human beings, it's part of our human nature that when we learn something as a result of going about our day-to-day life, something that helps us, something that is beneficial to us, we keep that information to ourselves. It becomes protected IP. And we'd be very happy to know that the next person took twice as many attempts to figure out that same information. And that's where I'm trying to be different. I'm here to relay all of my life learnings, all of the things that I've found beneficial, all of the golden nuggets that I've come across to you guys, free of charge. It won't cost you anything. You might be thinking, what's in it for me? Why am I doing this? Well, not too long ago, I was sitting there self-reflecting, and I realized that I was a very selfish person. Selfish in the sense that I was very focused on my own self-improvement. I did everything to make sure I was bettering myself every single day, but I didn't really care that much for others. Where helping out others was concerned, I didn't really have much to say for myself in that regard. And hence this YouTube channel. This is my way of giving back. But there is one thing I ask of you though. If at any point during this video, you find a piece of information useful, you come across something that you can utilize and implement in your own life, subscribe to the channel, share the video, because the whole idea is for this information to be heard by as many people as possible. And the only way YouTube will make that happen is if it realizes that people are watching this, liking it, and interacting with the channel. You know, it's so ironic, painfully ironic. I want a virtual show of hands. How many of us are sitting here right now in isolation, with all the free time in the world, completely consumed with regret for all the things that we didn't do? Perhaps we were too cool to spend time with our parents. Perhaps we were too busy to invest time in our health and well-being. Or perhaps we were too comfortable to go out and find a true purpose. We all know that we don't truly value anything until it's taken away from us. That's common knowledge. But you see, at that point, like we're experiencing now, it's a little too late. And the only feeling that will overcome you is one of regret. Don't get me wrong, losing someone, losing something is hard, it's painful, it sucks. But that feeling is compounded tenfold by regret. Because had you taken advantage of the time you had with that person or thing, saying goodbye to it isn't a completely painful process. Why? Because you have pleasant memories to cloud the sorrow. This isn't a philosophical conundrum, this isn't rocket science. All this is a shift in mindset that ironically isn't so hard to understand and implement. And the sooner you make this shift, the more chances you will have to capitalize and the more pleasant memories you will make. Because I can assure you, nothing sucks more than coming to this realization but having no time left to do anything about it. The list of things that are valuable to us is a dynamic list. When we're young, it's all about money, friends, popularity. Then we turn into young adults where we add things like career, studies, and relationships to that list. As more mature adults, we focus on things like career, work, family, and money is the repeating factor. There is one more thing more valuable than anything that I just mentioned. Why? Because once it goes, it does not return, no matter what you do, say, or try. When you're low on money, you can work more. When you lose a friend, you can work time on mending that relationship or making other friends. But when you lose this, you lose it forever. And I'm sure a lot of you have caught on as to what this valuable thing I'm talking about is. You see, from the moment we're born, we're given a finite amount of time to spend on this earth. Nobody knows how long that'll be, but the most common assumption is I'll live to 70, 80, 90. Now, this will sound a little bit grim, but say I can predict your future, and that you will have a lethal car accident at the age of 30. What does 15-year-old you think about this? You've already lived half your life. You've consumed half the time that has been allotted to you. What can you say for these 15 years that you've already spent and the 15 years to come? And even though this might sound really grim, this person, as of the point where they hear this information, they're in an enviable position. Why? Because he or she now knows the true value of time. And now, from a very young age, they will begin to utilize their time well. Now I've done a lot of talking, so let me help you guys visualize this with a diagram. Okay guys, so on the vertical axis of this diagram, I'm going to have something called ability to utilize time. Now I could have come up with a single word like efficiency, productivity, utility, whatever it may be, but I feel like this will help me convey my message a little bit clearer. On the horizontal axis, we have age, going up in increments of 10. Now I'm going to draw a dot that corresponds to approximately 35 years of age, and I'll explain why a little later. So as we go up from the age of 0 to the age of 35, our ability to utilize time increases, and once we hit 35 years of age, it starts to decrease. For those wondering, 35 is an age that I've just approximated, so we can put a ±5 year buffer on that. What the age of 35 corresponds to is your peak, so your mental and physical peak. This is the point where your ability to utilize the time that you are given is at its maximum. For argument's sake, let's say that someone at the age of 50 has an epiphany and they want to start utilizing their time more efficiently. What they do or don't realize is they've already burnt the bulk of their efficient years. And this is why it is so important to start appreciating time from a very young age. Now, according to this graph, at the ages of 20 and 50 respectively, it looks like your ability to utilize time are the same. This isn't quite right, because the physical capacity of a 20-year-old far outweighs that of a 50-year-old, but one could argue that the mental capacity of a 50-year-old outweighs that of a 20-year-old, so there's a bit of give here and there. But if you ask me, I'd much rather be a 20-year-old that knows how to utilize their time well as opposed to a 50-year-old. That half triangle section that I've just highlighted is what I call the glory period. This is the period of time where you want to take full advantage as you approach your peak. And that light bulb indicates that you want to have this epiphany or this realization that time is super valuable and you want to start utilizing it efficiently from a very young age. That triangle that I've just highlighted is what I call the extended period of capitalization. Capitalize on the time that you are given for this long and you are set for life. The reality is you've probably heard a message like this before, whether it be from a parent, a teacher, or a friend, but the chances are you dismissed the message because right now, time just isn't an issue for you. We as human beings need to be threatened with the loss of something before we are triggered into action. Well, here it is. You are going to die at the age of 35. Not literally, but your ability to utilize the time that you are given will die a slow and painful death. Now, hopefully my intro makes a little bit more sense. So let me ask you this, how do you feel about time now? And if the result of this video is that just one person now sees the true value of time, this video has already served its purpose. And do you know what the beauty of appreciating time really is? You can only win. There is no losing that can come from this. Why? Because now you are investing time into the things that are important to you. You are investing time into things that will bring you a sense of accomplishment once you achieve them. You are investing time into building a bank of positive memories. I watched the movie In Time quite a few years ago, and in that movie they replace money as the currency with time. And the way that shifts people's perspectives is absolutely amazing. Just think about it for a second. If we value time the same way we value money, we would turn into the most productive robots that aim to utilize every single second of their day. How many of us would willingly throw away money? But now think about how many of us willingly throw away so much of our precious time. I'll wrap up my message right here because there is no doubt that some of you are thinking that I have taken up your precious time with you sitting there watching this video. But I do hope that you took something away from it nonetheless, and it wasn't a complete waste of your time. So let us now begin to truly appreciate time and give it the value that it really deserves. And the next time that we're forced into lockdown or incapacitated by whatever it may be, we are not completely consumed by regret. And we can sit there actually content with what we've achieved and how we've utilized the time that we were given. Because for someone who's actually content, a break like this is actually a welcome change from the world. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and there was a beneficial message that you guys took away from it. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, share this video around, and I'll see you in the next one.